The well is open, Connor Hannum.
Hey now.
And it's time to talk about it.
Okay, here we are.
Here we are. Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 3, baby.
It's a new day.
A new day, a new night on the planet Midnight.
Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. No one saw that coming.
50% podcast.
On that note, hopefully you have seen the episode already because we're about to spoil the holy crap out of it.
Yes, good point.
If you don't follow us or subscribe to us already, make sure you do. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. We're having a lot of fun over there. Whiteboard. I love the whiteboard on TikTok, mate.
It's a hit.
The whiteboard is a hit.
It's a hit. Well done, Aiden. You know how to connect with the Gen Zs.
Yeah, I just see people doing like a footy podcast version of it. I'm like, I can use that and make it Doctor Who.
Just rip that. I love
that's
that.
my whole like marketing scheme.
Fantastic.
Just see what works for other platforms,
I love
for
that.
other things, and use it for Doctor Who. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about the well. The Doctor and Belinda land on a spaceship high above planet 6767 and jump. A crew have been sent to investigate a mining base gone dark with 35 workers unaccounted for. They discover the workers dead with a lone survivor left behind. An old foe hides behind the survivor, and the Doctor, Belinda, and the rescue crew find themselves in a fight for their survival. Ooh. Yeah, it's a big one. One. Midnight is like definitely in our top 10 episodes, possibly top 5.
Yeah.
So to bring it back for the
Wow.
was a pretty big challenge, I'd say.
Mm.
Do you think there's a world where Russell was writing the script not as a sequel to Midnight and then sort of got halfway through and was like, hold on, this kind of is a little bit, there's some energy here? Or do you think he went out to write a Midnight sequel?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I could see a world where both things are true, where he did go out to do it, but maybe was just like halfway through and wanted to connect it.
Yeah.
I could see both, actually. Yeah.
Well, I think here's a list of 3 things that I hate that Doctor Who does, okay? Or just movies and TV shows in general, they do. Randomly throwing actors around the room and it looking terrible and laughable. Number 1.
With a Wilhelm scream.
Number 2, blasting random bits of score that break the tension.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3 will be a sequel that is possibly unnecessary and doesn't really follow any of the rules from the one before.
Yeah.
That being said, I really like this episode.
Okay.
There's like things in the last act that really are dumb and that I don't like. But I still find myself really immersed in a lot of it. It is nowhere near the classic that I think everyone online is saying. That Stephen Moffat is saying.
Yeah, Moffat. That was so funny.
And I do think there were some easy fixes to the script and the production that could have made this a whole lot better, which I'll be talking about later in the pod. But Connor, tell me, how are you feeling about this episode? I feel like you hate it.
Sack Russell T Davies.
Oh, we're back.
Sack
We're back.
Jane Tranter. Sack Phil Collinson. Sack Julie Gardner.
We're back. We're back here. It's a roller coaster.
Kind of hate it.
You hated it from the start.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
I think there was 5 minutes where I was really enjoying it. Now look, granted, okay, I'll give this episode 2 bits of props, all right? Number 1, when I first watched it yesterday, I was just in a shit mood yesterday, all right? And granted, episode could have made me feel better and it didn't. So there was that. So my mood was bad. Second of all, I always rewatch it a second time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it a second time last night. So I haven't seen it a second time. Nor did I really want to.
I felt like a second time did help me because
I bet, yeah.
I finished it the first time and like I said, it's stuff in the back end of the episode that really put me off it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it the second time this morning and definitely felt those stuff don't hurt as much. It's like I was thinking about there's a couple of episodes, A Christmas Carol. First time I watched A Christmas Carol, right? I was like, this sucks. Flying sharks.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Totally ruins the immersion of the episode. But now you watch it and you don't even think about the fact that you're watching pretty bad CGI sharks flying around.
Yeah, right.
And you are just immersed in the story. And I feel like each time you watch a Doctor Who episode where like a production value or something they don't hit the nail on the head, I think that those little irks kind of irk you a little bit less.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, go on.
I think we were instantly into it First 5 minutes, I'm really enjoying it. They play Toxic again. What
Yeah,
the
Toxic.
fuck? And they do the shot again. They do the
there's
shot.
something sus going on. I don't know if it's just like an in-joke or whether there is actually like a plot thing going on.
What? So, and also, why was the spacesuits that the crew are using in the TARDIS?
Yeah, okay. Shall we walk through the episode
That
then?
instantly, although, okay, but I should just say, my main thoughts. I really just didn't like it. It didn't land for me at all. I didn't find it scary. I thought it was an unnecessary sequel. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like the twists. I didn't like the ending. I'm really struggling to find stuff that I really liked about it. And then, to my disdain, I go online and everyone's like, masterpiece, absolute classic. And I'm like, what the fuck am I missing? Like, I understand I'm in the small majority here of people who didn't really like it. Please do not hate me. My fragile ego cannot take it. But, it's like, I just think that it just did not work for me.
Yeah. I feel like I might have had like slightly opposite to you in terms of I just moved into my new place yesterday. So the last 2 days have been like hectic busy for me. And then to sit down and have like my first night in the house, turn all the lights off, watch the TV, crack open a beer and be like, it's a Doctor Who night.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Was, felt good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But that being said, I do hope that on rewatch maybe you find, because I think
sure.
there is a lot of really good stuff in there.
I'm sure. Yeah. Once because we'll come in tomorrow to do our Q&A and predictions for next week, and I'll definitely rewatch it before then.
Yeah. And
I'll let you guys know it's not data thoughts. But yeah, right now my main takeaway is just I just really didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm clearly missing something because everyone Stephen Moffat's like, forget about Blink.
Yeah.
The Well is now the episode,
I love that, man.
Anyway, let's
walk through the episode.
Walk through it,
And by the end of it, I will tell you where I will put it on our whiteboard. Will it be in best of the best, fun and flirty, so good until you're not, kind of good, kind of shit, or ass? We will find out later in the show.
Okay.
So yeah, we pick up sort of where we left off, I guess. We have that possibly Belinda's theme, possibly just the season 2 theme. The
stuck in Aiden's
head. It's giving like, you know how Shepherd's Boy isn't the 12th Doctor's theme, but kind of became the 12th Doctor's theme?
Yeah.
It's feeling like that for me with the 15th Doctor's
Right, I see.
Doctor.
Okay, well, that's cool.
And I kind of prefer it over the 15th Doctor's theme, possibly. More thoughts on the 15th Doctor's theme later in the episode.
Yeah, right, okay.
Okay. So, immediately they're like, oh shit, we can't get you home. Yeah, we've been there, done that. And then they land, they walk out, they come on in their space suits that are the same as the other spacesuits. Some people being like, why aren't they using the bright orange one? Yeah. Well, here's a fact. Very tense, dark episode. Wouldn't it look really silly if the Doctor was in a bright orange spacesuit running around?
Who cares?
That's a thing called production design. So
it's
I do
classic.
appreciate that they didn't use the orange one there. But it is dumb that they're in the exact same spacesuits as the team that they're jumping out with. It's also dumb that they walk out directly in line with 2 masks that just happen to be free on this jump. And then the leader lady doesn't go, hold on, we've had 2 people suddenly jump.
Who are these people?
Instead, she's like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, they do. It's like, at least they do it when they go down. They're like, who the fuck are you two? But then they're like, shit, just jump with us and we'll do that afterwards.
It's just a bizarre start. I do appreciate that. They were like, let's get into the theme. Like, let's get into it.
I can respect that. I did see a dumb theory that's like the TARDIS, it changes the wardrobe wherever they land.
Yeah, and I was like, you just made that up, Twitter man.
Come on, like the suit, the space suit. It's like, come on, Even if it was just a little bit different.
I agree.
It's like, come on.
You can keep the same like sleek design, just maybe change the colors and some of the patterns or something like that.
Instantly just threw me off.
Yeah.
I know I'm nitpicky, but
that's where like part of it's so silly that the most popular theory that for the finale is that Doctor Who is like a TV show. It's very meta or whatever. And part of the evidence is little plot holes that we're finding. Like this is like a big tick in the possible direction of it being a whole TV show simulation theory. But we'll see.
Yes, yeah.
They land on the planet. They do some vindicating. Cool shot. I like the little tilt up and tilt back down. That was cool.
Yeah, and I like the psychic paper comes back.
Oh yeah. Never gone the psychic paper.
Here you go.
And Murray's score, once again, until a certain point, is bloody brilliant in this episode. I love like the wubs, like when Mo goes a little bit dubstep, because I love when Doctor Who goes like cosmic horror, and it's these dark corridors in space, dark landscapes. Could have done with the episode being even darker visually, I think, particularly in the well, the main where the cock face sort of thing happens. I thought that could have been darker. We'll get there.
I'm rolling my eyes for all the audio viewers.
Okay. So that they sort of set up what's going on, and they enter the mining planet, and very much like an Alien homage throughout a lot of those opening scenes, which I appreciated.
Yeah,
as an Alien fan.
Yeah, I was fairly digging this part. I was just, I don't know. I felt like this episode was just a lot of build up. I feel like for a reveal that I already knew.
I shouldn't have bloody known it then, mate. Straight off Twitter.
No, what the fuck? They posted the damn title reveal with the clock going to midnight.
Yeah, I do think that was a bit.
Not put 1 and 2 together.
I do think if you are going under all the secrecy throughout all the production, all the way through post, and nothing is leaked out, don't put the fucking midnight clock on the well. An episode that you haven't revealed the villain on is a little bit sus, and there's a lot of things to say. It's probably an invisible enemy.
Dude, Doctor Who fans were breaking down like binary code in the 60th shorts. Like they're gonna break down every single tiny little tooth comb.
I really wish that they hadn't done that with the.
It would have been really. That would have been really cool, you know. And by the way, Aiden, just to correct you, I didn't look for any spoilers on Twitter. You do just sometimes just happen to see shit.
They find you.
They find me sometimes, you know.
There was a certain popular YouTuber that weeks ago said like, all right, now I'm going to talk about this leak because everyone's already talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it. And then I was like, had to like throw my phone away. I don't know whether that was the midnight thing or whatever, but these things do find you.
They do. That one did.
Anyway, so they enter the building. We see the clip from Doctor Who Unleashed where they walk up to the building and enter the building.
Clip.
It was very
another door.
Hooked. Yeah,
it's another door.
More doors. I hope the one for next week about a door.
No, I saw it. It's just Ruby on the fucking podcast.
Having a chat.
That'll be our episode because we do it. So I feel represented.
Yeah, they got rid of the official Doctor Who podcast and replaced it with Ruby's
Ruby
podcast.
and Conrad's.
That would be a funny thing if they actually got Millie Gibson and like a co-host to do it, because she's not really in the season, so it would be like a funny like meta.
Plus, if it's meta, that would be. That would be pretty.
You know
funny.
how like Troy Baker hosts the Last of Us podcast?
Yes.
That would just be like a funny.
That would be funny actually. Yeah. Very meta.
Very
meta. Hey Russell, come on.
Yeah, and then they get Verada to host the Lucky Day episode.
That'd be sick.
It's like a little swap.
They just got rid of the Doctor Who podcast, didn't they? Yeah. No one will notice.
In the trash.
Yeah, in the trash.
Yeah, so they enter through, they go through all the little corridors, little flickery lighting. It's quite spooky. All the mirrors are broken.
Oh my goodness, what's going on here?
Dead bodies everywhere. Some of them are shot. Some of them are beaten up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Every bone is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Immediately, a couple of guest characters. Just angry, horrible people.
Yeah.
Just mad.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Don't call me babes.
That was, you know what? That was so funny. And he goes, okay, hon.
Okay, hon.
That was, I chuckled. I chuckled hard.
Yeah, okay.
And here's a problem. Problem number one.
Okay.
All right.
Some negativity coming from Aiden's side.
Here we go. Real talk.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, let's cut the crap.
Russell, at the moment, I think, is struggling to write characters that are good and bad. And a lot of the time, they're either good or they're bad. We had this in season 1 where we said a lot of the characters were just really, really good. Like Ruby's parents are just the best parents in the world. They're so loving and caring. And you compare that to Jackie Tyler or Martha's mum or Donna's mum. And these are good parents, but they're not perfect.
They're flawed.
And that makes them human.
Yeah.
And a big problem we had with Dumb Bubble, or at least I had, was that the characters were just written as bad and dumb. Whereas realistically, I would have much preferred that episode if the characters were a bit more realistic. Mm-hmm. And maybe you root for them a bit at the start and then you slowly realize like, oh no, these are bad people, because very few people in the world, maybe excluding Donald Trump, come across bad just from your first interaction with them, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, and then, okay, so here, the reference to the well here is that this character, you know the guy I'm talking about, the guy that's just an angry boy, I think he's from Slow Horses. A good
Yeah, Dan was talking
podcaster,
about it last night. Yeah, he is from Slow Horses. Yeah,
a good podcaster here would have his character
yeah, he is Slow Horses.
here good to go. I think it might have been Christopher Chung.
Yeah,
So he's just a dick from the get-go. He's just angry. He gets one line that is underneath two other lines that are being spoken at the same time later in the episode, where he was like, I trained with her brother or something like that. And that was the only time I was like, oh, he's a human.
yeah, right.
But the rest of it, it's just like, oh, he's just written as a bad guy.
yeah,
And I think the power of Midnight is that all of these characters at the start are lovely and fun and you love hanging out with them.
Yeah.
And the twist of Midnight explores humanity and how no one actually is perfect and we have these flaws and we dive deeper into them. And I would have much preferred this episode had we had much more human characters from the outset and then we explore them more and they all start to turn on each other as the Midnight entity comes into it, because these guys are just bad and then they finish the episode bad. Not all of them, but yeah.
No, you've hit the nail on the head there. I completely agree. I mean, what made Midnight so great? I did rewatch it this week.
Same.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like humanity side of it, and I really did think we would see more on this episode, like a bit of a continuation on with that. I don't really know what the entity was doing. It kind of was just fucking around.
Fuck around and find out.
It wasn't really doing what it was doing before.
Yeah.
And I guess like I thought that's what was going to happen. I think.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get that.
I don't mind that they slightly changed it, but I don't.
Sure,
think
maybe
it
a
had to be
rewatch
this.
will butter me up a little bit. Yeah, I thought the problem is as well, we've only got 45 minutes. These we've only got 8 episodes of series. I feel like it's hard to get shit like done. I think this episode struggled from that as well. It's like we have had episodes in the past that can do it, but this hasn't happened here, I think. But
Yeah.
I would just like, I think Russell put too many side characters into it and not enough time to give backstory.
Could have just been 6 or 7.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, there's like the whole commander and stuff. It's like, I'm the best shot in the thing and I did this and I used to run across the fields. And then there's like at the end of the episode, there's a shot of a girl running through the fields. I'm like, am I supposed to like give a shit right now?
I've got serious thoughts on this character.
I don't, Russell. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Midnight, you actually were invested in the characters, good or bad.
Yeah.
With this, it was like, it was just another name to a face.
Yeah, I agree.
I also thought, I don't know if I didn't hate the character work between Belinda and the Doctor. But I also didn't love it.
I really liked them both in this episode.
Good.
I seriously, there was so many times with Shooty that I thought this possibly his best performance so far. I think there was times, particularly his first interaction with Alice, I thought was really powerful. The moment he realizes that she's deaf and he jumps to signing and everyone's talking, there's a look on his face where he's just looking at her, and there's just something very doctorish about that.
Definitely, yeah.
And a lot of those interactions between him and her, I really liked. And a big moment, I mean, I guess we'll get to it, but when he goes right next to her and he looks behind her and he starts to have that interaction with the Midnight entity.
Yeah.
His eyes, he just does the David Tennant eye thing where the eyes go wide. And I just thought that's such a hard look to nail, and just the extreme terror.
Sure.
I thought was great.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I second that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so we do meet Alice. I like that spelling of Alice, by the way.
Wasn't like ALICE?
No, it was ALISS.
Oh.
Yeah, and I feel like that was Russell being like, oh, this spelling is going to be on screen quite a lot, so let's make it look a bit more interesting.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah,
just cool spelling, I thought.
Yeah, and I really like the things they hit, and it would like can't what they're saying, and I like that as well. That was really cool.
Really good little touch there. Yeah, so really like that. Rose Ailing-Ellis, I thought was really good throughout the whole episode. I thought she was amazing as Alice.
Yeah, no, that whole aspect of it was really cool, and I think it really worked for the episode.
Yeah.
It was unique, and it was I do like that they did that, but for me something was just off. And I couldn't, and I feel like I am just going to probably repeat myself quite a lot. That's kind of why I'm letting, I think you should talk more, because I just feel like I keep saying the same thing, but like these scenes, like, although not necessarily like awful, just weren't connecting for me. And I really was just expecting it to like work a lot more, you know, I just wasn't invested enough. I found myself being, I'm sorry to say it, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but I just found myself getting quite bored. And like, I was saying to Jeremy, like randomly, like I was watching the episode and randomly in my head, it popped up like, oh, you need to check your emails today. Like my mind was just like,
That's
going
when
elsewhere.
you know that you're not locked into
Yeah,
an
and
episode.
I was just, and like last week, I was just focused to the TV with Lux, like, but this week I just wasn't like.
This is definitely the most hooked I've been.
That's great.
Because I'm usually...
what's wrong with me?
I'm usually with movies and TV shows. I can tell I'm not really into it when I'm checking how long the episode is. And and I do find it interesting to check that generally because I like figuring out the structure of episodes.
Yeah, sure.
But this one, I didn't even check that at all.
Okay,
cool. And even on rewatch, I wasn't there. I didn't look at my phone. Didn't do nothing. So just into it. Anyways, so Alice is explaining how... the backstory, 35 people died, yada, yada, yada. They all turn on each other. She didn't kill her best friend, turns out. No, she had to kill her best friend because her friend was going to kill her. And then they split off and the doctor and Captain and bad guy go off to the well.
They go to the well.
The character development. The character development is pretty rough when that's all I can use to describe
Absolutely.
them. Wow. Meanwhile, Belinda gets a really cool... Again, I love that we're doing this whole nursing thing. I love how a little touch in that she doesn't know how to sign, but I feel like it's so easy for us to just like look at a deaf person and be like, oh, I don't know how to sign, don't know how to talk. Can someone do this or whatever? She actually just makes an effort to explain like, arm hurt.
Yeah.
And Alice like picks up and understands that. I feel like that's a really great courtesy and a good little human part of Belinda's character. And so she goes and she does help Alice with a graze or whatever, and just some cool scenes there. We explore the fact that Earth just doesn't exist anymore. Yeah,
so that's three things. Is just one thing about the med thing. Like I did like how like the medicine was different in the future, but she still just kind of like adapted to what was there.
Yeah.
That was a good like character beat. And yeah, they both kind of find out separately. The Doctor and Belinda that Earth is toast.
Yeah, gone, mate.
Gone.
Adios, amigo.
No one knows Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that was missing was the CGI shot of May 25th.
Where's the black cab on the Eiffel Tower?
Where's that?
And the Statue of Liberty.
Bring it back. It's in the well.
Oh my God. It's in the well. Yeah, it's in the well. What else is down there? Jesus. No, that is interesting. I don't know. It's the reality war,
The reality war, baby.
It's the reality war.
Detonate the reality bomb!
Oh, goodness knows what's going on in Earth.
No one knows, mate.
In May 2025.
I do appreciate the slightly more serialized nature of this season, though.
Me too.
You are getting a few, not answers yet, but I guess more questions and just figuring out what's going on a little bit as the episodes go along.
Yeah, even the Vindicator and stuff is fun. That they happen to just land and then get it going like ding. Yeah, and it's like, of course they can't go back up. They've got 6 hours, so you might as well just go to the well. Yeah.
Hey, you are a Call of Duty Zombies fan.
I am.
Did you pick up on the use of some of the similar sound effects?
No, I can't say I did.
There's stuff from the Call of Duty Zombies map Moon. When you're doing the Easter egg and you have this little device and you're going up and hacking stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's just like
right
sound effect. It's the exact same one that's used when they're in the well area doing the systems.
Yeah, Moon I'm notoriously awful at, so I never played Moon.
Brilliant. Similar vibes to this episode, actually. So
yeah, right.
Anyways, enough Call of Duty talk.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We get a little bit of backstory. We humanize the captain by saying that she has the perfect shot and she's been running all her life.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Shout out to the editing, I wanted to say, because I feel like her character was written quite hollowly, but she has obviously a big impact on the end of the episode. And I did notice on rewatch that they cut it a lot so that they were focusing on her reactions a lot more, almost like to try and just find little bits of detail to add to her character a little bit more. Like,
yeah, okay.
So that's just something I noticed. Anyways, I guess this sort of brings us to the reveal where Alice starts to say, okay, no, look, there is fucking something behind me.
Yeah.
Don't walk behind me.
Yeah.
It's going to kill you. Mm-hmm. And then the doctor's like, wait, the sun is dead.
Yeah.
Which means there's this special radiation. What was this planet called? It's 6767, sir.
No. The original name.
Midnight.
Oh my God. That actually would have been sick if we didn't know, like, generally.
Okay, here's the thing. I've seen this twice now. Knew both times that it was probably going to be midnight. Although I actually did start the episode going, maybe this isn't going to be midnight.
That was the odd chance it might not have been.
And I did see a DM come through where it was like, can't wait for you guys to talk about this one now, or like this review will be interesting, ... or something. And it made me go, maybe considering we spent the whole preview pod talking about the possibility of it being a midnight sequel and it not being one. I thought that would be. So yeah, I started to think, maybe it's not. And then very quickly you'd sort of catch on. But yeah, so first watch, I literally went like, fuck yeah, like fist bump in the air when they said midnight. I was like, that's elite. And even on the second watch, I got tingles in my cheeks.
What is wrong with me?
There's just something about it. I was like, ooh.
Oh, fuck it. I just had the opposite reaction now. There's something wrong with me, Aiden.
You're like,
that didn't. I was just like, yeah, we know that.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Far out, Aiden.
Yeah, well,
what's wrong with me?
Apples and oranges. What's going on?
Shit.
Also, very turn left. Did you like? Part of me was like, maybe it's not a midnight sequel. Maybe it's a sequel to Turn Left.
Turn Left,
and we've got the Tricksters Brigade. The Tricksters in the finale.
Oh, the Trickster would have
as that guy says in the comments.
Oh, yeah, the tree loves the Trickster. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
And then
oh dear.
One of the most ridiculous things about this episode is the way that these people drop dead.
Yeah.
Is that they just fly them around the air.
I hated that.
There is no way of making that look good.
Yeah.
There is no way. They just look like they've been pulled on rigs and just thrown around the air.
Yeah, it was just missing the Wilhelm scream, you know.
Honestly.
Wow.
And it sucks because you literally like, they're like, midnight. The doctor's like,
no, I've been here before. You don't understand.
Cut back to the clock face. Boom! As people were flying around, the midnight score comes back, which is pretty elite. They're like, oh
my god, it's the midnight entity! What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh my god, that's actual dialogue from the episode,
and that was actual score from the episode as well.
There you go.
So yeah, people start whooshing around the room. They all sort of run back into the same clock face room. I'm just calling it the clock face room.
Yeah, sure.
And they sort of piece together the lore of the episode, how you can't, if she turns her back on you, you'll die. Even though there's a couple moments where she does turn her back prior to this and no one died. Like there's a moment where she does a quick, like, look, there's nothing on my back, and she turns around, they don't die.
It's just being cheeky. It's like, nah.
Yeah, I'm not ready to play my game.
No,
yet.
I did. Yeah, no, there are a few things that happen in the episode. I'm like, what are the laws of this entity? Like, I don't. I get like most of it is meant to be a mystery. And you're supposed to figure it out. Russell loves a good you fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think that almost works for a lot of this episode.
That's birds.
Oh, it's a bird.
Yeah, I saw two birds outside. It was really sweet. They were just sitting, and now they're on top of the roof.
They're on the roof. This is midnight.
This is midnight. I'm being attacked for my awful opinions about this episode.
I start flying around the room like.
Whoa!
Anyways,
yeah, I'm glad you found that silly.
It's so silly. It's like every time that all the characters are talking, it's tense, and I'm really liking it, and the score's great. And then all of a sudden, it's like, there's the most ridiculous moment where the bad guy, he's like, no, I will overrule, and I'm gonna walk around this.
Why do that?
And I understand. He's like, I'm gonna break it, right? And so he does it. First person dies. Surely then he goes, all right, guys, this was a bad idea. Sorry.
Maybe not. Nah, he commits.
Instead, he just commits. He keeps going. The score is trying its hardest to make it tense, because I do think the score and the sound effects are like, whoa, this is hectic. But surely these motherfuckers could just be like dropping dead or something. Like,
well, yeah, Jeremy was saying like just like they could get like snap necks or something and then just fall dead.
Yeah, snap the neck if you want to get brutal. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, they showed all the other ones with broken bones and shit.
Yeah.
Either that or shot.
Why did we have to throw them around the room? Also, okay, here's a really dumb moment from about 5 minutes ago in the episode, okay, when they're piecing together midnight, what planet they're on.
Yeah.
They're looking at the camera. They bring up the security camera. The Sonic can bring back old security footage that's been deleted, apparently. And audio, yeah. And dissect audio. The Sonic has better audio ability than any software.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? Magic.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Anyways, that doesn't matter. But what I did find really dumb is this. All right, I'm going to reenact. some guy in the video feed.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry if this sounds terrible, audio listeners. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Who the fuck does that?
He doesn't know what it is. He's freaking out.
But who?
He's freaking out.
There's chaos going on everywhere, and he's just standing there.
Wow.
He's just standing there. He's just screaming at no one.
He doesn't know what it is.
And then I don't know if it's because he says it or something, and that's what makes the doctor go, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
It's the midnight creature.
It came from the well, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, I just had to get that out of my system.
I did like how when you killed someone, it just went to them. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
That was cool. That adds, I think, to the intensity of the
And
situation.
I guess that's the closest thing to midnight is that it's like trying to take over different people and moving around to different
people. And that's
people.
how it learns and stuff.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Fucking dude has been doing arms though since midnight. Throwing people around the room like that.
Yeah.
He's learned a lot about arms.
Yeah. It's just the clock of midnight.
Okay, I like that shot. I did like the visual thing of like the dong and then the top down. I thought that was really clever.
Get it? Yeah. Get it, Aiden? Midnight?
I did.
Did you get the symbolism?
I did. No, but I thought that was a good way of explaining a visual way of explaining the rules of this game. Keyword here, game. When I watch Midnight, I don't see the midnight creature as playing a game. I see it. I can slightly see the angle of he's having a bit of fun, whatever. But I much prefer it as a creature that's learning and trying to escape. And that's also what I like about Wild Bull Yonder is creatures learning.
They're not things, yeah.
They're not things. But in this one, the doctor keeps explaining it as a game because I feel like that's the only way that Russell can justify the absurd rule of if you go behind it, it kills them. Because that is a game where the midnight creature for me is, it's all about learning and a creature that doesn't know humanity.
Is the midnight creature a pantheon?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, why is Russell obsessed with video games?
Yeah, it's like,
what is this?
It's all just a game to them,
yeah.
you know.
He's going to have like a fucking phone app game coming out where it's like, don't go behind the clock.
Don't go behind.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, just don't fuck with it, really. I'm sorry. I know this is all happening. It should be really intense, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Even when the doctor does eventually go behind and look behind and sees the creature for whatever it is, you know, I
really liked when the doctor goes up and gets close to it, and he's like, okay, let's look behind you. I'm gonna fucking look at you, motherfucker. And again, we have that terrifying look on his face. This scene works its best when it is dead silent. It's score and the doctor breathing and crying, and I like that. We didn't need it knows my name. Why the fuck does the midnight creature know the doctor's name?
Well, maybe it remembers, you know, we get that quick shot to DT and stuff from Midnight and stuff.
Well, I guess if it's been in his brain, then maybe it knows his name, but like...
Or maybe that was before.
That was before.
That was when he first found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, true. It knows my name. It's just a scary thing to say.
Yeah, I guess. I did like Shudy's performance there. But what doesn't work for me? Cut this whispering bullshit out.
What did you say? You're telling me to what?
It's just like... It's much more powerful.
Spooky.
I think it's much more powerful not hearing it though.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like the doctor's the only person that hears it because it's the same thing as Midnight where it's like you don't hear... I don't know. It's just something... You don't know what's going on in Midnight. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, you can hear the monster. You can slightly see the monster. Takes away from it a little bit. Definitely. I did think the quick glimpses of the monster behind, that stuff was working for me.
Yeah,
I thought that was like enough. Like, yeah.
That was one of the only times I was like, oh, I feel the horror.
Feel the spooks.
Yeah, I feel the spooks. Yeah. The spook malooks. Yeah.
But we do go from one of the most tense scenes in the episode, right? Score is like...
It knows my name.
Is crying.
Yes.
Alice is like, oh my God, I'm scared.
What am I going to do? Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, dun dun da 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 dun dun da da.
I'm so thick.
Da 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 dun dun.
My old head.
Dun dun da 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 da. And it's just like
my old head.
Murray Gold, please. I don't know if this was a Murray decision or like a direction thing or a Russell thing, but when you have like this deep space cosmic score, and then all of a sudden we go back to like, it's the 15th Doctor's theme, I get it, but it's very much, the 15th Doctor's theme works way better in series 1, where it's like that more fairy tale, fantastical thing. This is like tense. And all of a sudden we're going dun 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 dun.
Just enjoying it.
No, I'm sick of it.
Cut it.
I'm sick of it. It's
Okay.
tense. We don't throw this score in. I think I don't know how else you do it, because Shooty was like obviously throwing the energy around and stuff at that point, but I just thought, why are we ruining the tension? Why are we ruining the tension?
Did you like the shoot in the top corner, shoot in the other top corner, and then like the
reflection?
Yeah, the reflection. What do you think of that?
I think there's an idea there, but I don't think it really looked that great on screen. And then you're throwing, Alice just throws herself out.
Yeah, so it lets
her go.
Because of the mirror, the reflection and stuff.
Yeah, which I did think was kind of clever. I don't know why he can't see himself, especially if it's just a game. The Midnight Creature should just be able to go, oh, no, I'll just break that rule.
Weakness.
It's not a god.
Mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done before.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, the Doctor's like, run.
I have to see it.
And so they all run. They're turning around. I would have liked the chasey scenes in this episode to feel a bit more actiony. It was a lot of just like quite wide spanning.
Running down corridors, just.
Like, I just thought
classic Doctor Who.
It could have been shot a bit more tense. I like the running down corridors. I just think it could have been more tense, particularly later in the episode. Anyways, so the Doctor and Belinda turn around. The Doctor and Belinda turn around to look at the Midnight Entity.
And it's a dog?
Ruff.
Is it a doggy? I tried to look.
Don't know.
I tried to look. I know Russell is like, ha ha ha, you know.
Yeah.
They'll all be trying to see what it looks like. And I don't know what the fuck it kind of looks like what did you think it looked like?
Honestly, yeah, it's classic Doctor Who dog. Woof.
But we get doggy guys next week.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Is that the Midnight Entity?
But again, you know, on the preview pod, I was saying the most terrifying scene in that episode for me is when they say it's running at us.
Yeah.
And you can't see it running. You're left to think about what it looks like. How good would it be if it was that scene and the Doctor's like, look at it, and you see that terror look on his face again, and maybe you hear like and there's like a rumbling or something, some creature sound coming from
All
it.
I heard was barking.
And it's like a dark corner, flickering lights, and you are looking at like, can I see it? Can I? And you're trying to dissect it, but instead they are actually showing you a little thing. And granted, you can't fully see what it is.
You can't really see it.
I don't even mind.
It's hard to.
I don't even mind the start of it. There's a shot of the Doctor and Belinda, and it's like pulling out from behind a wall, and you can see the shadow of it in front. I like the start of that shot where it just sort of looks like a shadow moving, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. You can see there is something there, but you can't see anything about what form it takes or anything. But then at the end of the shot, you see like little limbs coming out, and it's like, let's not do that. It was giving Hyde.
Right.
Then all of a sudden there's that. Like,
yeah. I'm on with you. Yeah, right. Yeah, a little too much for my liking of like showing the creature, and I think they could have done without it. Yeah, people seem to be, except for me, obviously. I guess everyone seemed to be really enjoying the episode. I think even if you didn't see it, I don't think people I think probably would have liked it even more. Maybe like, you know, I think it did actually. You know what? I think it did do a good job of not over explaining stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
and they didn't. They showed slightly too much, but not enough for me to be like, why did you? Like, we didn't see the Midnight Entity, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I still feel like it's a pointless sequel, and it could have just been... This episode it didn't even need to be a Midnight sequel. It could have just been its own thing.
No, yeah.
It didn't really act like it did in the past, in my opinion, at least.
So we get to the airlocks. When they have to split in two. They send off the first 3. Yeah. Because only 6 people can go in the airlock, so they send off the first 3. Here's the big thing some very keen-eyed people on Twitter saw. The airlock says there's 4 people in that airlock. Yeah. I feel like maybe we should talk about this in the mail time episode of the pod, because I feel like we might get a question about this. But is this like a loose trilogy? Ugh. Midnight, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Well, where at the end of The Well, the Midnight Entity learns how to split in 2 and then that's what then has the two not things in Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah, I did see some people saying that the not things are connected to the Midnight Monster. I like that. I heard people saying that even before the episode, even before the well aired. I don't have an issue with that. This whole idea of like, another episode with the Midnight Entity, that just makes me roll my eyes. I don't want to see that.
Oh, we don't need another one.
Like,
but is
it? If that's an explanation for that, sure. But wasn't that at the edge of creation when nothing existed?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's just a fan theory. Like,
it's just Doctor Bloody Who.
It's Doctor Bloody Who.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
I didn't really. Yeah, but that is strange because then like there is like an entity down there with them because it is on Belinda, isn't it? And then it goes to the cat. Like you do see it and they do feel it like move over. Yeah. And Belinda does hear whispering and stuff.
Great performance from Belinda there as well.
Oh, she's fantastic. Oh yeah, I'm super impressed with her. I think she's such a great actress, and I actually am really enjoying her as a companion. Yeah. I thought it was kind of silly how quickly they just fucking shot her. Boom. Yeah. Okay. That's such a huge thing, and it's like they kind of like make up their mind to do it, and the captain's like, "I'm going to do it," and she's like, "Oh, okay." All right. Boom.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought it was a great scene though, where everyone's like, "It's not me. It's not me. I swear it's not me." And even the doctor, he can tell. He's like,
"It's definitely not me.
It's not fucking me." And he knows who it is by that point. And Belinda knows it's her the whole time. She's like crying. I thought that was a really great scene. And that's the thing. It sort of pulls me back into the episode at this point, right? It lost me for a little bit and we're back. Good scene. People fuck off in the airlock. These guys are stuck here. Captain Girl.
I'm going to run Doctor like I did on the fields.
So she's just straight up, shoots Belinda. And the doctor's like, okay, there's like 1% of her surviving, but I guess you're a good shot. Yeah. So let's do it.
She's the best shot in the fucking cornfields.
Yeah. She's trained since she was 14.
Yeah. I was born into this.
Shoots Belinda. Belinda's like, oh, fuck, I'm dead. They jump onto the CPR or whatever.
They started playing the score and the captain was running to the well. Dun, 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 and she fell into the...
Wow.
And she's running. And again, we got these shots that I'm like, I don't really feel the tension here. And I don't know whether it's like, because she just looks like she's doing a light jog. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, well, yeah, it's like, we got time to kill.
Shooty's sprinting. He's going hard. But she's just like...
And it just cuts to the cornfields.
And there's like big dinosaur heads around. And it's like, why? What?
I don't know why, Aiden. I was asking myself why this whole episode.
It's a bit melodramatic. It is sort of what that ending was for me, where it's like, you showed care about her.
But Russell does that all the time. It's like, you should give a shit. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't.
It would be great if we did really care about her. And like I said, I feel like they try with the edits sometimes, and there's one or two really short one-liners from her that add a little bit of character, but not enough to justify the drama that they were trying to pull at the end here.
Well, she even lets Wild Horses guy die, and she's like, I had to do it. He was getting out of control, and it's like, wow, you're just a bit of like a shitty like you're not really a great captain. You just let in.
Well, yeah, but she had to. I understand why she had to kill Wild Horses. Slow Horses.
Yes and no. Oh, sorry. Wild Horses is BoJack. Sorry.
No. A song by Rolling Stones.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think it just didn't. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
The dramaticness did work for me when she does jump into the well. I thought Shooty running out and being like, yo, I like that.
I do. It is quite a bittersweet ending when you know that it didn't work because there is something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there is something else. So either if it's split or it has a fucking brother.
Yeah.
Or a sister. I don't know. Or a father.
But it did, yeah. I don't know. As much as the corridor scenes didn't quite work, I don't know. It was melodramatic, but then it sort of works in its way. It was just a little bit too much for me, but I'm not so mad at it. I feel like I've bagged this episode a bit. But I do really like so much of it.
I've said pretty much next to nothing good about it.
I remember last week talking about Lux. I was critiquing essentially one scene, and some people were like having a crack at me for critiquing one scene.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
And I was like,
comments. Please be kind.
It's one scene, mate.
Remember to be kind.
Anyways, so then we cut to the TARDIS. Great little scene at the end there, I thought, with Doctor and Belinda, and they're worried about Earth again. They lie down next to each other, like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, Belinda's just been shot, and she's like, just give me a minute, Doc. Also, Earth's gone.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good scene. I liked it.
Is she going to be
I like these debrief moments with the Doctor and companions when they get back to the TARDIS at the end of the adventure.
Definitely.
I think they're sometimes the highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what the last scene is, it was really bad down there.
Well, insert Mrs. Flood here.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I knew it would be some shit like that.
Okay, Mrs. Flood. We are in danger with Mrs. Flood here.
I know.
She's starting to just feel like Susan Twist.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like similar looking character.
Yeah.
Doing similar things. We literally saw Susan Twist be like a officer, like in her cameo in Space Babies.
Yeah.
Very similar to her cameo.
So similar.
The cameo here.
It's so similar.
And it's like, can we not just do the same thing? Like,
yeah, it's like, why does she have to be in every episode?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think it worked. It worked last week, and I liked it in Robot Revolution.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to do it for every episode. Like, you can just leave it out.
And I think sometimes as well, it would be nice if it wasn't as on the nose of a cameo. Like, think Rose in Midnight, where she's just a bit of static on a TV.
Up, yeah.
Like, imagine if Mrs. Flood just when they turn on the TV that they're looking at, I don't know what it is, guy.
Yeah.
If she just flashes up for a bit of static there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because it almost like, you do see episodes like this and you're like, oh, they have to try and find a way to get her to be in it.
Yeah.
And it just comes across as like, oh, you've done this before.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially considering the episode already addresses so much of the series arc stuff with Earth. It's like, we didn't need to do this just for the sake of the series arc.
Yeah, you can get away with it like once or twice with like last season with like Susan Triad, I think.
Yeah.
But then with this, it just...
Well, the reason this one
coming
doesn't
across
work
like
is
that,
because
you
it is
know?
the exact same as last season. Last season, they did it every episode, and it was like, it worked because it was like the first time. But now we're doing it with another character, the same thing.
It would be funny if next week she's just Ruby's neighbor, like again, and still.
That would be pretty funny.
So she's Ruby and
I actually
Belinda's
wouldn't mind
neighbor.
that.
That would be funny.
I
Because
like
I'm just
that.
wondering how she'd be in next week, but she could just be the neighbor
Yeah,
still.
Mrs. Flood still.
Yeah,
Just the
that'd
neighbor.
be funny. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's another entity then, I guess.
Yeah. And I did sort of like that. I thought the dialogue was a bit on the nose.
What? What is it? What?
Yeah. There was
Nothing. I just thought I saw something.
a line that sounded like it was written by Russell, where she was like, "It was terribly scary," or something like that.
That's what the fans would be saying at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
It was terribly scary.
and then cut to black.
Yeah. Great.
And that was that. Well, I liked it.
Time for a rewatch, I think.
I liked it.
It turns out everyone fucking loves it. Stephen Moffat, everyone on Twitter. Everyone on Twitter is just like, masterpiece. Absolutely fantastic. Best Doctor Who I've seen in years. People compared it to I saw someone being like, oh, it's like, it gave me the intensity of 73 yards. Like, I didn't feel that once, personally.
I thought it was really tense. I did think it was really tense.
What's wrong with me?
But then I keep being like smacked out of it when people are flying around the room. And I'm like,
Whoa.
oh, it's
Yeah.
a fucking merry-go-round.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, I was wrong about the lucky day thing. There is a little Conrad in it.
Yeah.
So I did fuck up.
Are you going to wear a goatee in the pod
I'll
next week?
I'll probably do a goatee, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did just shave recently, so I don't know if that's too... I don't know if it'll be long enough. So if you have another one, we'll see how my facial hair goes this week.
Yeah, Lucky Day. Stay tuned for Lucky Day review where
Say I fucked it up.
Connor wears a goatee.
God's sake. I got it. Yeah, so that's my what's it called? Punishment for getting that wrong.
And I will do my run to There's Always a Twist in the End.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week. I've just been very, very busy with the move.
Yeah, go on, Aiden. Do your thing.
Time for the whiteboard. Connor, give me a whiteboard theme.
Dun 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 dun.
Time for Aiden's whiteboard. Where will the well sit? Well.
Wow.
For large parts of the episode, I thought, could this be another best of the best? And then I thought, it's not fun and flirty because it's not like a fun episode, is it? And then I thought, you know what? I really love this episode until I didn't. So this is going into the so good until you're not episode. I do think the good in this episode is really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. You will not believe it. It was marvelous. But then it's not good. And that's why we put it in so good until you're not.
Right. So I guess you could take a little bit of a slack this week with the comments with that then, I guess.
It's weird to put it alongside the Church on Ruby Road because I do think this is a lot better than the Church on Ruby Road. But it's so good until it's not. So that's why it's in so good until you're not.
Yeah, but like also the giggle's there as well. So
And I do think it's around the mark of giggle because I think the giggle is so good until it's not.
the
Hence
giggle
why
and Space Babies in the same spot. Crazy.
Church on Ruby Road, not Space Babies.
Oh, sorry.
You goose. Space Babies is even higher than the giggle.
Apologies, that's fun and flirty. Right. Sorry, the Church and Root Road and the giggle in the same spot, that's kind of blasphemy.
Well, this is my whiteboard. It makes no sense to anyone if you're not me.
That should be in kind of good kind of shit.
Church and Ruby Road. Yeah, maybe. But
it's
we'll
like,
see.
apparently this board is like a tattoo. Once it's on there, it can't come off.
I can't change this shit, mate.
Without laser removal. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Face a Raven.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
tattooed
Yeah,
onto me.
it's just counting down.
Yeah, I'm going to die if I change this stuff.
I would probably put it in ass.
It's not ass.
I think it's kind of ass.
Shooty's performance, to be fair, Shooty's ass in that space.
Yeah, Shooty's ass.
There's a reason to put it in ass.
Yeah. Okay, I will give it a rewatch, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think my mind's going to change that much. You can't reinvent the wheel, Aiden.
You can't reinvent the...
Well.
True.
Well, we
Rip the
will...
Band-Aid off. What you're going to give it out of 10?
Oh, true. We need to do scores. Out of 10, baby, I'm going to give it a 7. And I feel like it's a... No, I'm giving it a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5 for me. Or is it an 8? No, I'm going 7.5. 7.5. What are you going to give it, Connor? I'm so scared for
I'm
you.
going to give it a 5.
5?
Yeah, I think it's kind of
This
shit.
is better than the Robot Revolution, mate.
Can we bend the rules a little bit and can I maybe change it when I come in for the Q&A?
All right, you
Let
can
me
do-
have a rewatch because normally I do rewatch it. It wasn't my fault. Dan didn't really want to watch it, so that's who I rewatch it with. So
Yeah, rewatch it on your own.
I should have accounted for that, but I also like sleep.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I will rewatch it. I'll give an updated score on my abysmal 5 out of 10, which is similar to its Robot Revolution. I gave 5 out of 10 as well. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of there at the moment. I know everyone's going to hate me and disagree with me. I'm sorry. What are you going to do? It's not the end of the world. It's just a TV episode.
What they're going to do is they're going to comment and say that you are an idiot.
Oh, no.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday night, Tuesday morning, depending where you are in the world, to do a mail time thing. So if you want to ask us any questions, how we feeling about certain things, or send us your theories, write them down in the comment section below. Or in the post that is going to be out in a couple hours after this. And we will talk about, we'll answer them. It's a mail time pod.
No theories about if Connor's brain is broken, okay?
Well, we knew that a long bloody time ago, mate.
Because I don't know why I didn't like this episode. Everyone loves it.
Well, just every time someone said "well" in this episode, I was like, "Wow,
Wow. The well.
well."
All right.
Thanks, folks.
Thank
And
you,
we'll,
everybody.
We'll see you later.
We'll see you on the next one.
It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews. We're doing Doctor Who reviews. Dun 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 dun.
You hate that, I guess.
Well.
You hate the... Murray, put down the sticks.
It's time and place. Do you know what I mean? It's like not this deep space horror where the score sounds so different for the rest of the episode to then be like, here you go. Have the
my
theme.
old head.
My old... No, that's Murray. He's like, oh, my old head.
Oh, I have a score for
I've
shooting.
brought
I
back
could just
the wrong
use that.
theme.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Alan C.